And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly, truly fantastic day today. So we are continuing with the Michael Jordan videos, and today's video is coming from the 2003 All-Star Game. This is a pre-game interview with the GOAT Michael Jordan, and to me there is always something to be gained from hearing Michael Jordan speak. And this particular clip, he's talking about, the interview asked him about Vince Carter basically giving up his starting position at the All-Star Game for Michael Jordan. And so Michael Jordan gives his thoughts on that gesture from Vince Carter. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this clip.
Michael, your thoughts on the young guys, Allen and T-Mac, offering to let you start?
I think it's truly a good thing. It's a respect for the elders, if you want to look at it in that sense. I would have done it easily, because I think that sometimes you have to pay respects to the bridge or the gap from one era to the next, and even if the individual don't accept it, it's just a good gesture for them to do that. And I think just to come up with that idea shows respect for the game, not just to Michael Jordan, but for the game, and the reason that I wouldn't accept it, and I don't want to accept it, is because I think it says a lot for them to go out and live up to what the people expect of them, which is why they were voted as starting five, and I'd rather for it to happen that way, because I think that's the chain of change. I mean, that's how things happen. That's how change happens. And I don't want to break that chain. I've had my chance to start 13 years. The 14th year, I'm not going to lose sleep about. I feel good that, that I've been there long enough to see that the fans want to see something else. And that doesn't bother me. That doesn't offend me. I think that's how the game continues to live and survive and progress. So I would want them to take that progression and move further with it, because they're going to be in the same boat somewhere down the road, and some young kid probably want to do the same for them somewhere down the road. And I don't know what their feelings would be about it, but I would rather for them to pass it on just like I'm passing.
All right. So to me, the first thing that I always notice about Michael Jordan, and as I'm going through these interviews, this is really a recurring thing with Michael Jordan, because he always gets, whether he's asked questions about the GOAT debate or different things or what he's done for the game, Michael Jordan puts the game of basketball ahead of himself. So, he says that the gesture of them doing that not only shows respect for the elders of the game, which is obviously lost with this generation of ridiculous NBA players, with the LeBron James generation, that being the generation that LeBron is in, and the kids that grew up watching the Duck play. They don't have that same respect for the elders that I feel like previous generations always carried. And before anybody wants to say, oh well, it's the older guys are hating on the younger guys, well, for the most part, and first of all, I don't like to use that word hating. It's not the older generation hating. It's the older generation always tries to hold the younger generation to the same standard, and that has always been the case throughout anything. Whether you're talking about music or movies or sports or whatever, people want to know that you are upholding the standard. So that has always been the case, and to some degree, it has always been that back and forth between the older and younger generation. The older generation trying to make sure that the younger generation holds the standard, while the younger generation tries to move the game forward. So that has always been a dynamic, but that has never stopped the younger generation for showing respect to the older generation, which Michael Jordan has always done. But again, the LeBron James era and the era that has come after LeBron James, or more specifically, the era that has watched LeBron James, this era is the era that has no respect, I would argue, for the elders or the game. And in some ways, I believe those two things are related. I believe if you have respect for the game, you will in turn have respect for the people who help bring the game to where it is. You know, they go hand in hand. So if you don't respect the elders, you don't respect the game. And if you don't respect the game, then yeah, you probably don't respect the elders. And this is what we're seeing. So Michael Jordan talks about the fact that gesture from Vince Carter, and the guy mentioned Allen Iverson as well, that gesture shows a respect not only for the elders but for the game. But then Michael Jordan proceeds to say that, you know, he basically, if you know the story, he turned it down. Now eventually, when the All-Star game happened, Vince Carter kind of at the last minute put him on the spot, and he had to, you know, walk out when his name was called. But Michael Jordan turned it down, basically saying that, hey, first of all, you earn a spot. Like, you earn that starting position, and so it is your duty to go, not to accept that position and go out there and deliver for the fans who voted you in. So again, coming from the GOAT, coming from someone who arguably more than anyone else has the right to feel like the NBA owes him something, he doesn't feel like the NBA owes him something. And again, this is usually typical. Usually it's the people who have fallen short that thinks the NBA owes them something, or thinks the fans owe them something. Like LeBron James thinking that the fans owes him respect, when again, he simply hasn't earned that from us. He hasn't earned the respect from us. Matter of fact, he's done the exact opposite. So yeah, you know, Michael Jordan having that, saying that, hey, look, you earned a spot, and because fans voted you in, you owe it to them to go out there and show them why you were voted in, basically, is what he was saying. So Michael Jordan turned down that spot. And then he goes on and continues to talk about why it is good for the game. Like, he has no problem being in that position to where he wasn't voted as a starter in the All-Star game. He talks about, hey, that's just the progression of things. That's how things goes. He's glad he's able to be around to see that progression happen, and talks about, hey, these same players who are starters now are one day gonna be in my position where, you know, they're not going to get the votes to be able to start in the NBA game. That's just how it goes. That's the evolution of things. And, you know, again, to me, that shows it almost goes back into Michael Jordan's willingness to fail. And not that it's a failure, but to me, it just goes into that accepting when things accepting what comes, you know, knowing that you did your best, and when you do your best, you can accept the outcome. And I guess really that's what it comes down to is, you know, if you actually are in a position where you know you put your all out there, then you can accept the outcome. For the simple fact that it is the people who I think deep in their hearts know that they don't deserve certain things, are the ones who feel like they are entitled to it the most. You know, these are the people who are basically saying, these are the people who treat the fans like you will take what I give you. Again, this is the LeBron James era mentality, is you will take what I give you. Like, we will give you this amount of effort and you will just accept it, and you will call me the GOAT because I say I'm the GOAT and because my media machine says I'm the GOAT, but you will just accept what I give you instead of me earning that title, instead of me earning your respect, instead of me getting respect because I do respectable things. And that respectable thing could be simply acknowledging your true place in basketball, simply acknowledging that, hey, people don't see me as the GOAT, and if I'm being honest, I didn't work hard enough for that title. If I'm being honest, I didn't work on all facets of the game. If I'm being honest, I'm not as great a scorer as Michael Jordan. I don't play defense like Michael Jordan. I don't compete in the same way that Michael Jordan does. That is respectable. It's when you can just admit where you are to people. And so while, yes, you would still not be the GOAT, but you would have people's respect. The lack of respect comes in from you trying to claim to be something that you have not earned. From you trying to claim to be something that deep in your heart, you know the reason people don't call you the GOAT. It's because you haven't done GOAT things. And so, yeah, Michael Jordan, again, this is another thing to me that makes Michael Jordan who he is that acceptance, that willingness to try and fail, and that acceptance of what's to come. So, he didn't seem bothered by the fact that he didn't get voted to be an all-star, even though he's Michael Jordan, and not only was he not bothered, but like I said, he didn't accept that, gesture from Vince Carter to let him start. It wasn't until the game actually happened and Vince Carter put him on the spot, and they called Michael Jordan's name, and then he had to run out. But he didn't want to accept that, because this goes back to Michael Jordan believes that, hey, you get what you earn. He believes that, hey, Vince Carter, you earned that spot. And not only that, not only did you earn a spot, but because you earned a spot, you owe it to the fans who put you there. I think that is such a great mindset to take from Michael Jordan. And that just goes to show you that there is no entitlement on the behalf of Michael Jordan. There is no entitlement of, well, I'm Michael Jordan, so of course I should be starting. And this just made me think of, shout out to Dreamers Pro. I just watched him do a video, and I can't even remember exactly what he was talking about, but he mentioned the fact that part of the reason LeBron James didn't participate in the dunk contest was because he wasn't voted an all-star in his rookie year. So he was kind of trying to stick it to the NBA by not participating in the dunk contest. Again, this shows you LeBron James had a sense of entitlement the minute he came into the league. And how could you not when someone dubs you the chosen one? How could you not when someone basically says, here, you're great, before you have proven anything? You've only proved what you can do in high school. You haven't proved a thing in the NBA, and yet we've dubbed you the chosen one. That can only mean one thing. Is that we chose you, and we're going to make you be what we have chosen you to be, whether the fans think so or not, whether you earn it or not. Well, whatever you do in the NBA, we're going to help facilitate and craft this image that you are great. So don't worry about it, LeBron. Don't worry about getting better from year to year. Don't worry about overcoming your obstacles. Don't worry about staying in Cleveland and actually having a chance to turn a losing franchise into a dynasty like Michael Jordan did. We already know you're not Michael Jordan. So we'll just help you along the way by allowing you to do things in the NBA that no other player has been able to do. We'll just help you by promoting narratives about you. But LeBron James has been entitled from day one. And like I said, this with Michael Jordan, him not wanting that and him feeling that Vince Carter should start because he earned the position shows you that there is no entitlement with Michael Jordan. Not even after all of the years in the NBA. Not even after as much as he grew the game. Because there are many players who facilitated the growth of the NBA. Matter of fact, you could just being blanketed, you could argue anyone who participated in the NBA was part of that growth. But if one player had a claim to growing the NBA more than any other player, that would be Michael Jordan. But despite that, he doesn't feel entitled to these things. And again, just showing how opposite that him and the Duck, they couldn't be any more opposite. Michael Jordan and the Duck, the Deer, the leader of the 4 and 6 Kingdom, the leader of the fanboys who wear platinum knee pads. But anyway, we gonna hold up here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think of what Michael Jordan had to say about Vince Carter offering his position, his starting position in that 2003 All-Star game? What do you think about the things that Michael Jordan had to say in regards to that? But let me know what you guys think. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.